everyone, it's Denise Reed and welcome to my channel Ramble Reed, and welcome back to all my returning subscribers. If you're looking for all things paper mache, you have come to the right channel. This week we are going to be looking at smoothing out clay, air dry clay paper mache. When you're smoothing out your clay, you do have the option of using a paintbrush, and you want to make sure that your bristles are soft or hard, okay? With a hard bristle, you'll be able to see that the hard bristle removes a lot of your clay. Look at that, okay? I just want to show you. It leaves marks. Okay. Now when you take a soft bristle, remember you can use the same water. Make sure it's not fully wet, and you're just going to go over it and gently rub. And your soft bristle just makes it nice and soft. Okay, and remember this is paper mache clay, so it does have paper in there, so once it gets wet you're going to see those little fibers on top. The fibers is what holds the clay together. It's not a full porcelain clay. I've mixed my porcelain clay and my paper mache clay together. I want to also show you how I do it with the paper, because with the paper mache you don't really need, you can even wear gloves. You don't need it smoothen out that much, but to move the clay around, that's all I do. Now, another thing that I like to do is use any tools that I have. And these are for some of the projects that I use where I'm creating my paper mache vases, paper mache earrings, or even the porcelain clay and regular clay earrings. The techniques is something that you use for all your projects. And I'm not smoothing this out for it to be actual smooth, because you know with paper mache clay, it's going to have a little bit of texture. Comment down below and let me know what type of techniques do you use to smoothen out your projects. There's two types of paper mache clays that I do. One is the paper mache bowls, but then the other one is the earrings. So I want to show you guys some tools that you can use just to smoothen out your clay and even to cut your clay. So you have tools like these. These ones here help you cut your clay. And then once you cut your clay, there's some options that you can use for smoothing it. One is to actually take paper, plastic, and just keep smoothing it out. And you see that? Okay, and then look over here. You see how this part is damaged? Let me show you. And you do have to sometimes, with some of the areas, put a little bit of pressure on it, but that's one way that you can smooth out your clay, especially if you're doing the paper mache earrings and you don't want all that texture. You do have to remember that it will dry, and it dries with the texture because it has the paper inside of it. But if you want your clay smoothened, that's one way. The other way is to use water. Now, water or oil. Now with water, you remember you don't want to change the consistency of your clay, meaning you don't want to add water and have the properties be kind of damaged. So what I generally do is I will put some water on my counter, and then I will lightly mist my finger. I don't want it damp, and then I'll just smooth out my clay that way. But the last way is, once your paper mache is dry, you're gonna go back to, and I did create a video on the sandpaper grids, but you want to sand down your paper mache. If you want the texture, you don't want it smooth, you don't want the color to change, you can leave it that way, put resin over top of it, and it will make it glossy. But if you want these undertone colors to pop, you're gonna take sandpaper, and I'm gonna link the video to the sandpaper grid that I created for you, but you wanna just sand down. With any smoothing out technique, you can definitely use it on pottery clay, but also it shows you how to smoothen out clay sculptures. You can do this for ceramics, ceramic sculptures, clay surfaces, it's just like a nice, beautiful, clean finish on any of your clay projects. Sometimes I do this. I take this piece and I just put it on here and I move my pieces. Keep sanding, keep grading down, okay? Make sure when you're sanding your earrings that you're not using too coarse of a sandpaper at first. Use the highest one that you can, but without scratching. Now that you know how to smoothen clay, I have written a guide on different designing platforms that will help you take those creative juices out of your head and put on a digital platform. I have included a list of tutorials that will help you understand these platforms better. You can download the guide at the link in the description box. Also guys, if you are a creative mind and you wanted to submit some of your pictures or what you're doing, I do have my Instagram page and my Facebook page, so you can check out the link in the description box down below. Check out any of my paper mache tutorials next and my upcoming tutorial that will be posted next Tuesday. If you like this week's video, hit that like button. Be sure to comment on the video and share the content with your family and friends. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next weekend. Take care.